For fighters, fight fighters.
Believe the hype, Abdul Ahad Patel. I am here with Adam Stewart. Adam,
Yes, some cherries.
you got 2 and a bit weeks to the big fight.
Yeah.
I know you're bouncing back off of a loss at Raged back in October last year?
October last year. October. It was my first amateur fight, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you go, hold on.
all right, cheers, mate. Yeah, it was my first amateur fight. So it was like 11 months training up to that. And I just had seen him and I wanted to kill him, but it didn't really work out for me because I just kind of went for him, thought I was going to knock him out, didn't knock him out, gassed out, and then got teeped. So yeah, that was all she wrote. But I'm coming with a new mindset, and I've learned a lot, and I've obviously learned it's all experience, and you learn your mistakes, and I think as well, first fights can go either way. It's kind of, especially when you're 2 debutants, I think it's a lot of more emotions and nerves than actual skill. So
Yeah, 100%. I think the thing is as well is until you get the experience and the repetition, you don't really know how to control or manage your emotions.
Yeah.
I think some of us, or a majority of us, all have got into a fight at school or outside with our friends, etc. And it's emotion that takes over the fight.
Yeah, 100%.
But when you're in a cage or a ring or even on the mats, it's controlled aggression to essence, it's discipline, opposed to just throwing anything. And that's an experience you can't teach. And it's something that you learn in your first fight, regardless, win or lose, doesn't matter. The experience is more valuable than anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
So I feel like first one's out the way. Now we get to actually showcase
skills,
what you've been doing.
Yeah, it definitely. To be fair, I think, well, personally, I think I'm a lot better than I showed. Well, a lot better. And obviously, I'm training with the likes of Felipe, Caden, and stuff. It's one of those gyms where there's a big jump in skill levels at the moment. So because we're a newer fight team, so when I come in, they were all quite established amateurs. You know what I mean? So I was just getting the shit beat out of me every Sunday, and I just kept turning up. I still do, but just a little bit less. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm starting to show an actual a good showing of my skills this time. Yeah.
Yeah, man. How did on the flip side, how did that make you feel? First loss. I know there's obviously some heartbreak to it, but was it more that I need to get back and start working?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you lose and you cry about it and kind of feel sorry for yourself, then you're not really meant for this game. Do you know what I mean? You've got it's not a game of your feelings, which I've learned with my own struggles. That's why I'm here. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got to toughen your mindset and stuff like that. So do you know what? After my fight, I went into the changing rooms. I wasn't devastated about losing. I was more devastated for my coaches because I was more upset about letting them down, not about losing. Look, it's an experience. I did a lot to get in the cage. Most people won't get in the cage. So to me, it was a win regardless. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I took it. I honestly didn't really care that I lost. I more cared that I got in the cage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think most people lose by not even stepping foot into a gym, let alone fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think there's a statistic that says there's about 1% of the world that does combat sports.
Yeah, and I think it's less that actually fight in the cage, isn't it?
Exactly. That was my point. So it's never a loss. It's a lesson learned. It's an experience that you gain. So actually, what have you lost?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
No, nothing. I didn't care. My girlfriend still likes me as well, so that's a good thing.
That's always a plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
If anything,
well, I hope, yeah.
It shows you got the cojones, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Bit of Spanish there?
Cajunas?
Cojones?
What's that? Cajones balls.
Balls?
Balls.
Okay, great. So, moving forward then, you're matching up someone that is, I believe it's their debut?
No, so I won't say too much about that because he pulled out.
Okay, so we've been rematched again?
Yeah, I'm getting rematched, yeah. We're just waiting for the last confirmation.
Okay.
So I won't say too much about him pulling out because I think pulling out with no excuse is not a good thing, but I won't say too much on that. But,
I guess it's one of those things as well, and I know we just spoke to Taylor about it. You never really know what the reasons are behind it, and just like we said then, fighting is a tough thing, and it's actually really scary, and you get anxiety. I think every fighter I know making that walk to the cage, to the ring, to the mat, is questioning why they're doing this, and you start to really feel like this isn't for me.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
there's,
yeah.
I guess, with pullouts, from a non-judgmental perspective, it's like, well, we'll never know, and actually, it's probably better not to know.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be fed bullshit either.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I think the frustrating thing for the fighter that's fighting the person that's pulled out is they put in all this effort for camp. I've dieted up to this point. Do you know what I mean? And especially when it's not the start, it's like it's a bit frustrating because you're like, imagine if you can't get a rematch. You just like you haven't wasted your time. You've learned and you've helped the lads out. And don't get me wrong, but you haven't got the moment that you wanted because of someone else. So that can be because it's out of your hands, then, isn't it? But look, regardless, I'm gonna be fighting on IFC. So yeah, I'm not that bothered, to be fair.
Yeah, man. That's the main thing. That's the most important thing. At this stage as well, in amateur, it's kind of like, well, whoever it is.
Yeah, I'm not missing out on like a ranking or missing out on like a good show, like you know what I mean. I'm not missing out on fighting someone in the rankings that's going to get me like this is experience,
exactly.
And I'm getting to fight on the first IFC. Like it's a like honour for the coaches to let me do that as well. So like do you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, man. Here's a question for you, a bit of a deeper one.
Yeah.
What's the purpose? Why do it?
Why do it? That's a good question. Yeah. So I've got a lot of whys. I'd say my main why is for it's for mental health. I don't really like talk about my own mental health that too much. I do advocate for it a lot, but do you know, like, because I don't really like, because do you know, like nowadays in the media, it's a lot of like people use it as an excuse, and it is like overused, the mental health excuse. Like I'm a real sufferer of mental health, not like feeling sorry for myself type thing. So I know what it's like, but I've lost a lot in my life. I won't go into it all because it's a bit like too much for me at the moment. But the recent thing that happened was one of my best friends. He's literally like he met my dad, which unfortunately passed away as well. And so, like, for me, that was a massive thing because he was there on my dad's funeral and stuff, and he was there, supported me through that, and so did his parents. And he's a massive, his family quite big in Cheltenham, Ben knows them and stuff like that. And he ended up taking his own life due to mental health, which I was literally scaffolding on site and found that they didn't know that the person that told me didn't know I knew them. And yeah, so it's pretty like messed up time for me. And then I got really, really sick and I went a bit manic and started losing my own head. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, regardless, 3 years I was off, not good on the sofa, really couldn't even leave the house. I was like, thought I was losing the plot. And anyway, I seen like all the lads train Cheltenham Jiu-Jitsu, but I was too like, because before you've done it, like you're too nervous, aren't you? Like, especially because a gym like this is established. It's a small area as well, isn't it? So I thought, do you know what, I'll try a bit of boxing, did a bit of boxing, fought in a boxing match, and then that gave me that confidence to come and join here. And I messaged Ben and like obviously Taylor that you've just interviewed. I kind of like knew him through someone else, and I come in here and like I can't explain it. Like there is like you can't, when you walk into a fighting gym, you think everyone's going to be like look at you down and whatever, but they don't. They welcome me with open arms, and I've made like Felipe is like probably my best friend at the moment. Ben's a great coach, like helped me through a lot of things. We've got Ronnie that like always looks out for me as well and kicks me up the ass. So and we've got loads of other great coaches, so it's been great, and all the people here are great. So yeah.
So you found like a new purpose in doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, if I'm really honest, Ben, Ronnie, and all the lads here saved my life. So I can't be more grateful to them for it, to be honest with you. It sounds a bit soft, but it's the truth, do you know what I mean? I probably wouldn't be in the position I'm in or here if I hadn't joined this team. So, yeah.
No, it's not soft. It's not soft at all. I think, I know you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just speaking my mind here. I think there's a lot of emphasis on men's mental health nowadays, but there's very little action.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that talk about it that don't really, it's not mental health as well. So what's happened is it's all got washed into media, people feeling sorry for people that's having a bad day, and then the real sufferers don't get the help or do you know what I mean? So, and like, I guess back in the day when I was younger, even 20 odd years ago, mental health wasn't really talked about, do you know what I mean? It was just you're having a bad day, get on with it. And like, I still agree with that in a sense, do you know what I mean? You've got to keep getting on with it, because like, feeling sorry for yourself gets you nowhere, does it?
Yeah.
So
I had quite an interesting conversation with one of my old coaches, Dave Wilmot, who's a Muay Thai coach.
it's funny.
in
He
Gloucester.
actually coaches me sometimes when I go up there to the vault.
Okay.
There's a Muay Thai. I do
Nice.
Muay Thai, so I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking about mental health, and we were saying that sometimes talking about it isn't the solution, and sometimes you need a physical outlet.
Yeah, 100%.
And I guess that's resonating with what a lot of what you're saying is that this network of people, this club of people, as well as the action to be able to do a sport or do a combat sport, is giving you some sort of relief or solution to a lot of the things you might not want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, well, do you know what I find? This is for anyone that's suffering from mental health. You can't retrain. Say if you're going to learn something, right? I don't know, for example, bricklaying. Like, you can't just look at it. Like, it's like you can't go to university, read a book and get better at it. It's just, or talk to someone about it. You've got to have hands-on experience. You've got to do the job to get better. Well, it's the same with mental health. You've got to do something to reset your mind. Your mind doesn't just go, I feel better now because I've read something or talked to someone. You've got to physically make an action, teach yourself again how to be able to live a normal life. Do you know what I mean? And how to become confident. And you can't get a better sport to get confidence than being able to defend yourself or even step in the cage. No one gives you more confidence. Like, that gives you most confidence, isn't it? It's nothing more, except like maybe going to war or something. There's nothing more raw, is there, than fighting?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue to say, like, it's probably more than war, because you're constantly putting yourself in a position where it's uncomfortable, whilst you could speculate or argue to say in war sometimes it doesn't always kick off.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's
especially
true,
nowadays, there's a lot of like, he said this, we'll do this, we might do this.
Yeah. And I guess once you're in that cage, the cage, you know, I can't remember who said it, but like, it's the ultimate like lie detector, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Once you're in that cage, you really know. Like, for example, my last fight, the guy, like, he's a nice kid. Speak to him after. I speak to him, but like, you could see he's given a lot of bravado before. But what I was thinking is, like, in reality, no matter how much bravado you give, we've still got to fight in that middle of that cage, and I'm going to come for you. So regardless of what you do to me or the faces you pulled at me before, no offense to him, he's a nice kid. I've chatted to him after, but at the moment, I just thought, don't matter, mate. You've still got to stand there, and we've got to fight. And I think I gave him a good go, and like, yeah, I think I was doing good. Yeah. So yeah.
Fair enough, man. So fight in 2 and a bit weeks time.
Yeah.
Tell us what we can expect.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think I'm not going to be as like 100 miles per hour, like ball to a rag type thing this time. Going to hold it back there, but then still, I think my style is like, unlike Taylor's saying, there's a lot of different styles in here, and that's the good thing about Cheltenham Jiu-Jitsu is like you come in here and you learn the skills, but you develop your own style. It's not like you have to fight this way. So we don't have one style, and I think my style is head down, just go for it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've been working on, and it works for me. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm going to bring a fight. I'm not going to bring a hugging match. Like,
Yeah.
I will give him it, and it won't be a boring fight. I can promise you that. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, listen, it's an honour and it's a pleasure to have you talk about some quite intimate things, and it's good to hear you advocate for that, especially for fighters as well as men and you know, other people in society. But I'm hoping you get that big W.
Yeah, definitely.
Fight night.
Thank you. I appreciate
and,
that. Yeah.
I hope we get to, more than anything, I hope we get to see you showcase your skills and what you've learned.
Yes. Yeah.
Since the last fight.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. So stay tuned because it's going to be a fireworks, definitely. Yeah.
All right, Adam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.